Hi everyone! I know it's been a while since I've done a reading and you had two more that I had promised you. I had a little injury, but now I'm feeling better, so I can sit in the position to read to you again. So tonight I'll be reading an excerpt from Vampires in Atlanta, which is a story from the One series, which you may have read, but maybe watch the video at least. It's a follow-up with new characters being added. So chapter 1, Impending Danger. 2 years after the events in The One. Fallon James is where we start. Fallon woke from a nightmare to find herself wrapped in the arms of her boyfriend and observer, Rupert Sparrow. She soothed it was only a bad dream. She gathered herself and calmed her breathing before she replied, "I don't think it was just a bad dream, babe." He wasn't surprised by her response, as he knew that she could have dreams that were also premonitions. "What did you see?" Rupert inquired, never letting her out of his protective grasp. Fallon took a deep breath before she began her explanation. "I saw one of my best friends in grave danger. She's in a master's program at the University of Georgia. She was surrounded by bats and she wasn't able to fight them off." He pulled her more tightly against his body. "Do you feel that this was a premonition of what's to come?" "We can go there first thing tomorrow and help your friend if you're truly worried for her safety," he added as he placed a gentle kiss on top of her head. She nodded. "I do feel like she's in real danger. It's about a 4-hour drive from here. Can we really leave first thing tomorrow morning?" Fallon requested as she felt finally like she had control over her breathing again. "Of course we can," he responded. "According to everything we've been studying, Savannah is safe for now. Why don't we try and get a bit more sleep before we head out to help your friend? Surely we'll both need it if the threat you fear is as serious as your dreams portrayed," he suggested. Fallon nodded once again. "Yeah, that's probably the smart play. I'm so sorry I woke you, baby," she apologized while offering a sympathetic smile. He smiled down at her. "You never have to apologize for the things that you feel. You are the chosen one, which means that there is no specific schedule for us to follow. We are merely guided by what you feel and what we know. I hope the rest of your night is filled with sweet dreams," he urged as he pulled her back down to lay on the bed next to him in his arms. "I certainly hope so," she answered with a soft smile. She leaned toward him and placed her lips against his gently. "I hope your dreams are nice too. See you again in a few hours," she added as she rolled over onto her side, still wrapped in his arms, to go back to sleep. Blake Davis, 1 year earlier, so do the math. She's our new character. Switch my leg. Blake walked into the Blue Sky Bar after she finished her first week in the master's program at the University of Georgia, joined by some of her new friends. As the group of friends sat down with their drinks, a band took the stage to start their set. "Good evening, everyone," the lead singer began. "We are Night Trouble, and we're here to give you just that," he exclaimed before he and the other band members jumped into a metal sound, one that would have rocked hard during the mid-'80s. Blake found herself drawn to the lead guitarist in the band. He didn't look to be that much older than her. He had curly, or unruly might better describe it, dark hair that fell just below his shoulders. He was wearing a black leather jacket and tight black jeans. She couldn't see his eyes very clearly from where she sat, but they looked to be dark and seductive. As the night went on, Blake's friends started to leave, but she stayed. She wanted to meet the guitarist that she couldn't stop staring at all through the night. Once the band's set ended, Blake took a shot for courage before she marched over to introduce herself. When she reached him, she noticed that his eyes were just as she'd imagined them, only causing her new crush on this stranger to grow deeper. "Hi," she nearly whispered, once she was close enough to speak to him, her new crush. "I really enjoyed your set. My name's Blake Davis," she introduced herself as she offered her hand to the musician currently overtaking all of her thoughts. The stranger smiled, making him even more adorable and attractive. "It's nice to meet you, Blake. I'm Eddie Quinn." "Are you a student?" he inquired as he put his guitar in its case so he could focus his attention on her. Eddie found himself as drawn to Blake as she was to him. She nodded. "I am. I just started my master's program today. I'm studying communications," she shared as he guided her to a table nearby, causing him to let out a sigh of relief that she was more age appropriate than some of the girls who approached him after a show. "That sounds interesting, sweetheart," he replied. "I'm glad you enjoyed our songs. Was this the first time you've heard us play?" "Yes," she replied. "You guys were fantastic, but if I'm being honest, you were the best part." "I'm sorry," she apologized. "I'm not usually this forward, but I feel so drawn to you. In fact, I'm usually into guys quite a bit older than you," she confessed as she looked away, embarrassed. Her response caused his lips to curl into a charming smile. "I suppose I should be honored that your taste shifted to me on this beautiful night. Would you like to go somewhere more quiet so we can get to know each other better?" he suggested as he reached across the table and grasped her hand in his own. His hand was surprisingly cold, but that didn't bother her as she nodded. Eddie took her back to his place where he poured her a drink before he took a seat next to her on his sofa. "I have to say," he began, "I'm glad my night ended this way. It's not every day I meet someone who's interested in me that I could actually see myself with. Groupies are usually the opposite of what you'd want to take back home with you," he explained, as he raised his glass for hers in a cheers motion. Blake took a sip from her drink before she replied, "Well, I'm glad you didn't find me to be one of those annoying groupies. I'd really like to see where this thing between us goes," she offered as she leaned forward and ran her hand into his curls, inching her face closer to his. Eddie closed the gap as he placed his lips to hers, fully consumed in the possibilities that their interactions offered. Possibilities that he had never dreamed were possible. It's a little double. Anyway, if you want to keep reading, you can grab the book on Amazon, also Barnes & Noble, in ebook, paperback, or hardcover. So I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time for more Magic City Murders. Good night.